Decoding Bill.com API documentation is a straightforward process that requires a basic understanding of APIs and technical terminology. To get started, navigate to the Bill.com API documentation website, where you will find a comprehensive guide to integrating their services into your application. First, familiarize yourself with the overall structure of the API documentation, which typically includes sections on authentication, endpoints, parameters, and response formats. Understanding these components is crucial to successfully decoding the API documentation. Next, focus on the authentication section, which explains how to obtain an access token and authenticate your API requests. Bill.com uses OAuth 2.0 for authentication, so make sure to understand the authorization flow and how to handle errors. Once you have authenticated, explore the endpoints section, which lists all the available API endpoints, including those for creating, reading, updating, and deleting data. Each endpoint includes information on the HTTP method, URL, parameters, and response format. To decode a specific endpoint, start by identifying the HTTP method and URL. Then, review the parameters section to understand what data is required and how it should be formatted. Finally, examine the response format to determine how the API will return the data. For example, to retrieve a list of invoices, you would use the GET method and the invoices endpoint. The parameters section would specify that you need to include the company_id and date range in the request. The response format would be in JSON, including the invoice ID, date, and amount. Best practices for decoding Bill.com API documentation include carefully reading each section, testing API requests in a sandbox environment, and handling errors and exceptions properly. It is also essential to stay up to date with the latest API changes and updates. By following these steps and best practices, you can effectively decode the Bill.com API documentation and integrate their services into your application. Remember to take your time, be patient, and practice decoding different endpoints to become more comfortable with the API documentation.